This is the Ridler car. We won the Ridler Award with this car in 1994. It started out life as an original 37 coupe, okay? And I bought it off a friend of mine down near Pittsburgh, and we pretty much changed everything. We designed it in a CAD system, and we had a big ink printer that the engineer that I was working with. So we'd make prints of every section of the car as they went along in the computer, and we'd change the design, change this, change that, shorten it up, whatever. And so when we were done with it, down in my workshop, I have a big wall like this, and we had all the drawing up on that wall, and you could actually take a trim knife and cut out the pieces on there, lay them on a piece of sheet metal and cut them right out and bolt them on the car. I mean, sounds pretty simple, but it wasn't, you know. And but that's how the whole concept came about. And there was another young man from Cleveland who was working with me on this car, and we built this car right here in this shop. It was all done here. The interior, I do not do the interior, so I had a same guy do the interior here as in the Smoothster car. Independent, all handmade stuff, front and back. Much longer, and it went way down because the fenders came right out the back end, and there was a panel down in there. So we basically shortened the whole thing up, and we leaned this part here where the rear windows are, we leaned that forward and changed the profile of the whole top, because they used to have a little bit of a peak in the top, and it didn't look right on the car, so we made a whole new top for it. So there's a lot of metal work in this car that's one of a kind. I made the tail lights and brake lights myself in the machine shop. These were out of some kind of a Buick I bought them at a dealership, and I made the aluminum pieces, and there's 3 or 4 bulbs in there for brake lights and driving lights and everything. Everything works in the car. This is all handmade stuff. This is I'm going to tell you a little about this. This is a John Batera Hawk motor, and it was something that John and when he was still alive, he and Mr. Gasket Company out of Cleveland went together, and they built these aluminum engines to run in the ISCA sprint cars. And right in the middle of everything, ISCA changed the rules. So he wasn't allowed to run them because they were too lightweight. And I bought 2 of them. I still have another one. That's what we use for the Ridler Award. It's all polished aluminum. Engine, heads, transmission, everything underneath is all polished aluminum. And at the time I built the car, it had 8 stack fuel injection on the car. And back then I couldn't buy a real good computer to manage all that. It would run, but it was not easy. And so I took it off of there recently, a couple of years ago, and I put 3 tube arrows on it, so now it likes me a lot. Okay. However, whoever buys this car gets the injection unit worth, and it's all color matched. The throttle bodies and everything are the same color as this, and they got brushed aluminum bezels on the top. That goes with it. Probably $5,000–6,000 to replace it now.
I love all the doors just closed.
Yeah.